These YouTubers of here were some of the most famous of all Minecraft YouTube during the first version, and in one of their episodes of their most famous series, we can see how they had used a mod to modify the size of the players, making the player who has the orange berry skin has the size changed to a smaller one. But wait a minute, everything I told you is a lie. Actually, the players have the exactly same size. It was a matter of perspective. Another example are these two torches here. One looks bigger than the other, but it's really only down a block. Being a bit far away makes it look smaller, and that's how this video snipe gets resolved. Invite your friends to your new underground area. Your friend is not going to wait for you to confuse him. In this case, Steve is going to follow me down here. Let's see what Steve's reaction is. It turns out that Steve was shocked by this optical effect. Eyes capable of following you with their gaze. It gives that feeling that a creature is looking at you. And you can achieve this effect simply by making a gigantic area with a bunch of concrete blocks. The eyes remain floating. There are other pretty cool examples out there. If you do the same thing, but with red eyes and using a texture pack to make it glow, it will definitely look like an evil creature. Lately, I've seen that it's fashionable to make buildings with a round shape, like this window by Steve. However, you can do something much better, like this strange circle here. At first sight, everything looks normal, but look closely. When Steve tries to put in blocks, you will see how it doesn't achieve total symmetry. But how is it possible for this to happen, since it is an optical effect that we can do with the stairs? First, I replicate this shape. Then we add stairs, on the left, on the right, and at the top. With just this wheel, you already have the epic visual effect. Now, you can place any block in the true holes. To be able to place a block here, we break one, we put a frame, and then we execute the command that I leave a description for the Java edition. What it will do is place false, for instance, making the illusion that they are true blocks, and it's enough to fill in other stairs. The frames will be removed automatically. Many of the optical effects in Minecraft are extremely complicated to build. So many times it would take too much time. That's why I'm going to show you a super easy optical illusion to make. Here I'm going to show Steve, my new partner that is serious. Yes, we can definitely see how his face is quite serious. But what Steve doesn't know is that face can change. It will only be enough to go down. Now our partner is quite happy with a very tender smile. And if we let's go up, our partner will now be very sad. I don't know about you, but my little friend is giving me a lot of pity. But look what happens when you leave your like. Now he is quite happy. Steve is relaxing, resting quietly on the bench, but it is an excellent time to confuse him, because in this case I enter with a cactus skin. Wait a minute, I present to you the optical skins, which depending on how you look, it can change. Steve from a distance will think that it's a skin of a normal cactus, but when I get closer, this will look completely different, managing to confuse your friend. But there is not only this skin, look at this another one. It's done to make it look 3D, and we can even change color. It seems that the skin is made of many layers when really it's just different color. Or what about this colorful skin? At first it may seem completely black, but when you get closer it's done all colors. I call this an RGB skin. Have you seen a 3D cake? It creates amazing effect, but without a doubt this is one of my favorites. It looks like a skin taken from another video game, but it's just a skin for Minecraft. I call this knowing how to use the secondary layers of the skin. Tell me below in the comments which optical skin you like the most. On survival servers, it's quite common that players divide their work. Some are in charge of food, other perhaps good, and other mineral. So if at any time you see another player wanting something that you have, you can confuse him without him knowing. In this case, Steve wants some bread, so here I have all Steve's bread ready. The interesting thing will be when I give it to him. Look what's happening when Steve is getting all my bread. Somehow a strange way, it arrived disorganized, and when Steve tries to put them together, he won't be able, and making him confused. The way trick is to slightly change the names. For example, if your friend has a small warehouse, you can easily grab his items, you separate all gold into several sections, and we rename them. For example, at the end you can put a space, or also at the beginning you can put another space. We can also change it to capital letters. You can change the O to a 0, add another capital letter, and so on successfully, no matter what. If you try to collect all these ingots, they won't be able to organize in any way, something very frustrating. Another idea that occurs to me with this is with the stone bricks. Just remove the name of the bricks infested with stone and leave them as a normal stone bricks. These bricks don't seem to have anything strange, but if you use them, they are really the infested stone bricks. If at any time you see that your friend is AFK, you can take advantage of that and troll him and confuse him. Imagine that he goes to a place near his house and then he starts fishing. You should immediately bring a lot of trees and bone meal. Start planting a lot of trees near your friend. Build as much as you can and surround him with trees. And even near his house, create an artificial forest. All this artificial forest will confuse your friend and hide his whole house, and he won't know how to orient. Hurry up, he gets back, and when he gets back from being AFK, your friend will not know what happened. Maybe he won't even remember the trees that were near him, but when he tried to go to his house, he probably ended up getting lost and won't be able to find his house, even though his house is next to him all the time but hidden. A very efficient method that is very easy to do. If you have a lot of time to build an optical illusion, you can try to make the following map, which is considered one of the best optical effects that can be done. This player is dedicated to creating optical effects in his survival. Look at one of the corners of this map. You will be able to see how everything starts to move, but it really isn't like that. It is a static photo. The distribution and colors of this map manage to confuse our brain, making it look a kind of wave animation. The next time you invite your friends to your house, show them this little house. It has a cute little tree, an entrance, but wait a minute, this is not what it seems. If you manage to make a completely vertical construction, it will be quite difficult to know what portion it is in. A trick that fools our mind too much. If your friend is one of those people who frames their valuables, you can set him up. The frame will make him too confused. Now you are probably wondering what this troll is about. Well, I already did, and I'm surely you didn't notice. When Steve was placing his valuables in the frames, I sneaked in and stole his netherite pickaxe and exchanged it for a stone one. Once you know, it is easy to recognize it, but surely you didn't notice when I appeared on camera and I was already changed the pickaxe. Steve will go through his tool zone without noticing, and when he gets his tools, now he will realize that this was not netherite. Click on the left to see more things that confuse your friends, and on the right you have a video suggested by the YouTube algorithm.